Okay, the MEC for Agriculture, Saki Mokoena, is completing his 100 days in office today. He will use the day to reflect on the achievements that were set as targets when assuming office. He will also highlight various initiatives which were launched or reintroduced during his period. For more on this, we bring in our reporter, Nosipho Mncube. Nosipho, a good morning to you. I think let's talk a little bit about what we're expecting to hear today, and also just the significance of this event for the Free State.
Very good morning to you too, Naledi. Of course, Mr. Saki Mokwena's 100 days in office coinciding with the ongoing Youth Month commemorations, which are still being observed in what the MEC has described as the breadbasket of the country, and that is the Free State province. Of course, over 800 million allocated when he tabled his budget in April to the department, and some of those funds, of course, being driven towards the farmers around the province, more especially the young farmers that we are seeing in this province. But to speak to us more about some of those initiatives that took place over Youth Month, I have here with me the MEC, and that is Mr. Saki Mokoena. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Mokoena, and a very good morning to you.
Morning to you, and thanks for having us.
So, Mr. Mokoena, can we just reflect on some of those projects that we have seen taking place in the Free State province to assist especially young farmers within the province?
Thank you very much once again. Remember, during the budget vote, we did indicate that we are looking at growing the Free State economy through agriculture. We are looking at positioning agriculture as a strategic driver of our growth. We are looking into the future. We are looking into women. We are looking into young people whom we know can take our economy to the greater heights. What we've been doing during the Youth Month has been to focus on young people who are in the agricultural space, who out of their own efforts, they have managed to build something. They are into the animal farming, they are into various crops that we see them growing in their various farms, and demonstrated really their commitment and willingness to be role players in the sector. These are the ones that we decided that we need to reward them by supporting them, giving them additional stuff. You saw that we gave cattle, we gave bulls, we gave heifers, we gave tractors and so on, just as an encouragement to them to say you are on the right path, and we are inspired by the efforts that you yourselves as young people have made. It is really to speak to the attitude of a young person, that self-belief that I can make it, and when I'm doing it, my own government will be behind me to support. Why we need them in the sector? They represent the future. Why we need them in the sector? These are the people who are going to take agriculture to the next level. If we don't support them, there won't be any future farmers that we so require as a country, and more so in the Free State, with agriculture being a decisive factor to our GDP. That's why you saw the aggression. We are not yet finished. There's those whose products are still being finalized will be delivering to them, so that all in all, we will have reached the target of about 18 of them. That I'm saying, as opposed to us inspiring them, they inspired us with our work, with their work.
And how are we in terms of bridging the gap between those who are previously disadvantaged within the sector, especially young people? What have you identified with regards to the progress that we are making in bridging those gaps?
Look, we are turning the tide in having agriculture reflecting the profile of the province. You've got quite a large number of young people who have gone to school and have qualified in agriculture. Some of them, of course, with assistance of government, but majority of them out of their own efforts. They have undertaken various initiatives in different enterprises, and there's a strong working relations between historically disadvantaged farmers, young and as well as the old ones, which is a productive type of a relation that we want to see. We have got to work more, of course, and as we work more, we've got to make sure that we broaden the base. As we broaden the base, we correct the errors and the mistakes of the past, but we also introduce or improve the production capacity of the province around various crops that we require to make sure that we are able to achieve the targets that we have set for ourselves.
And And with regard to MEC, the challenges that some of these young people are facing in your engagements with them, we have seen reports, for example, where there was an issue or concern with regard to security, with some of the farmers' livestock being stolen, for example, or the theft that is taking place within certain farms, as well as the roads, the state of the roads within the province. What are some of the challenges that you have identified or engaged some of the youth on?
Look, obviously the issue of crime in terms of stock theft, farm matters are issues that are quite key in our space, and we are forever keeping a keen eye on that, working with the police as well as the associations themselves. But what we identified strategically is the collapsing social relations between the farm dwellers, farm workers, as well as farm owners or managers. And as a department, we intervened immediately, because once you solidify social relations, you are able to have all these three key elements within the sector looking after each other. If there are good productive relations between the dwellers, the farmers, and as well as the owners or the managers, you narrow the space for crime to chip in. You bring back the element of ownership and a sense of belonging on the side of everyone. We are doing that to combat and push back on the theft and crime, but we also are doing that to enhance what I call a productive relation, which we so much need as a province.
I see one of the stalls that are being exhibited here today is selling or showing or exhibiting some products which are cannabis infused. And I see that in your, when you tabled your budget in April, 5 million rand, if I'm not incorrect, was tabled to help grow the cannabis industry. How are you in terms of growing that industry?
Look, since we spoke at the budget vote, we have made some strides. The 5 million is no longer 5 million, it's a little bit more. Okay. We're going to look for more again. We have identified Clarib, we have identified Mufuzanyana, we have now added Mangawung as the three sites where we'll be working on hemp, which is an industrial crop which enables us to do the things that we're seeing on that stall. We are already finalizing plans to ensure that there are growers that are properly trained, that are professional. We are at an advanced stage to conclude on the setting up of a medium-sized plant, both in Clarib as well as in Mufuzanyana, so that we do the processing here. There are quite a number of things that we can do out of hemp, and we can only say that what you see here later in the year, I can assure you, we will call you and put before the nation what we will have achieved, because we are quite aggressive on that. That there's a number of beneficial products that our people require that can provide not only jobs but also respond to a large demand within the market in terms of your hemp associated products. So we are much more focusing in terms of hemp more than cannabis alone. Yeah.
Okay. And lastly, MEC, young people who are aspiring farmers as well, or aspiring to be within the sector, what channels can they use to receive any assistance or any information with regards to some assistance that they can receive from the department?
Look, to us, agriculture is an economic space. We said that we are positioning agriculture to drive our economy in the Free State. This is our gold, this is our oil. And we will want young people to relate with agriculture as a business. And we want that self-initiative, that element of self-driving, propelling to achieve what they desire. Once they stand up and are able to come to the party, we'll be there to support, we'll be there to harness and make sure that we provide opportunities. So as opposed to a mere application, which they should, for assistance from the department, they need to lead the way. They need to lead the way and ensure that they pioneer us into a new way of doing agriculture, pioneer us into positioning agriculture as the main economic activity that we have in the province, and build basically the industry around it. If you see here, what you see that is now on display are all things that have been done in the Free State. And I'm sure outside you will have seen that now as Free State we've got our own van, our own buggy, that I still dream to see farmers using it. We need to make sure that we use agriculture to make sure that what the industry produces is able to create jobs for our people, but at the same time, industry support agriculture in terms of innovation, new products, new things that will not only add the value in terms of our space, but will take us as a province to new levels. Remember, we have not even spoken about agro-processing, which we touched on elements when we're talking about hemp. We are still going to do quite a lot of things that will say to us, like UAE built Dubai around oil, we're going to have to build Free State around agriculture, and I so much believe with the capacity, the desire, the knowledge, and young people who have really gone to school that the future is bright for us as the Free State in terms of agriculture.
Thank you so much, MEC. That is the MEC of Agriculture and Rural Development here in the Free State, Mr. Saki Mokoena, saying young people need to lead the way and they need to take initiative if they are aspiring farmers or aspiring to become a part of the sector. They need to lead the way, and then they can find ways or opportunities to be assisted by the department. Of course, I will be speaking to some of the exhibitors here today, as well as some of those young farmers who were recipients of that assistance from the department. Naledi?